Over the years, I've found that one of the easiest ways to be successful in the working world, whether you're working in some freelance capacity or whether you have an employer, is to meet the expectations that you set. So when you set a deadline and say, I will deliver you this thing by X date, you do it. This was true when I wrote a book. This was true when I did magazine articles, and in a much larger context, it's been true when I've managed software project deadlines. The double-edged sword of this is that when you miss those deadlines, it can create a chain reaction that makes a number of people look bad. Because typically, particularly in an organization, when you promise to deliver something to someone, that person is depending on your delivery date to set expectations for something else that they have to deliver. And it's possible that there's even yet another layer up the food chain from that person, depending on how large the organization is. And so when someone in the middle misses a deadline, it can have repercussions all the way to the top. And I've seen this play out in a number of ways. For one thing, the person directly above you stops trusting that you can actually meet the deadline that you promised in the future, and so they will question the deadlines that you set for yourself going forward. But the other thing that happens, and I've seen this happen a lot, is that people will then start padding the deadline that you give them. So let's say that I promise to deliver something by the end of day this Friday, and the person that I'm promising that to, having known that I failed to meet their expectations in the past, suddenly says, well, you know what, Jake said he would get this to me on Friday, but I think what that probably really means is he can't get it to me until Tuesday next week. And so I'm going to communicate, just to be safe, that the deadline for this needs to be Tuesday. And then, depending on what the relationship that person has with a supervisor above them, there may be yet more padding. And this causes delays in projects and can be a real mess. And it's really hard to undo. Once you have failed to meet somebody's expectations a few times and they stop trusting you, it's really hard to undo that, even if you routinely start hitting deadlines again, because it creates a false sense of security, and people don't know for sure, can I now trust this person? Was it a one-time thing? Were those 2 or 3 times the last times they're ever going to burn me on a delivery deadline? And so this goes back to my core point at the beginning, which was, when you set expectations for something, you need to deliver on them, because when you deliver on them, people know they can count on you, and it makes the work environment better for everyone.